also, one last thing, most of my rings are from Shein, just because they're cheap and have fun designs, and they're very, at least for what I found, really good quality for the price. But I do have a couple from miscellaneous sources and some that I've made, so I'll mention the ones that I made or that I found elsewhere. But otherwise, if I don't mention it, all the rings are found on Shein. So yeah, anyways, let's get started with the collection. So first off, I'll be showing the ones I keep on this little rainbow tray here. So these are ones with kind of fun designs, just stuff like that. They're not just simple bands or anything like that. They're a bit more fun, and these are my favorite rings out of my collection. Alright, so first off, I have this little mushroom ring. It's just very simple. It's this kind of retro kind of looking mushroom. Like, it kind of reminds me of like 60s or 70s kind of like art. And then the little band has some star engravings in it, and it's this cool like antique silver look that I really like, and I think it's super pretty. Ignore the concealer on my hand, but I think it's super simple and it goes with a lot of things, just because of how simple it is. So yeah. Next up, I have this little frog ring that I showed in my previous video. This is one of my favorite rings in my entire collection. So he is just silver, and he has these kind of white, like, or not white, red kind of eyes. And then he has two small nostrils and this kind of line as a mouth. And he is just the cutest thing. I love him so much. I always wear him on my left thumb. Like, that's just where he lives. So I love this ring. It's one of my favorites. I think top 3 in my collection for sure. Plus it's adjustable. His little on the back, it's his little feet, and you can kind of like adjust it to make it fit you. So I absolutely love that as well. Alright. Next up, these are also some of my favorites. So if there's any kind of clinking. This is kind of a set. As you can see here, they're little like crystals. They are fake, but I still think that they're beautiful. So the first one is just this very simple gold band with this kind of rectangular cut stone just right on the center. And I think it's really pretty. I definitely think the other is my favorite out of this collection, but or just, I guess they're a set out of the set, not collection, but I think it's super pretty. Here, let me get it more. There we go. I just think it's beautiful, and I tend to wear a lot of green. It's become my favorite color, specifically like this kind of shade of green. So it goes with a lot of my green outfits that I have. So I really, really like this. Okay, and then there's this one that's the same kind of simple gold band, but then there's tons of little stones. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one's a bit harder to wear because you kind of have to roll it around to get it to fit, but I still think it's super pretty, and I really like the stone details. I feel like it's pretty like statement-y, because it's very like, it catches your eye. So I really like these two, plus they were really inexpensive, and I've really been liking them because they've held up really, really, really great. So yeah. Next up is another set. I've already lost 2 of the rings in this set, but it's fine. Anyways, so this, I believe it came with 5, but it's just these simple gold bands, and then they kind of have these little resin jewels in the center. They're just kind of blobs of resin, and they're in different colors. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but yeah, they got glitter in them, kind of making it hard. They have like iridescent glitter throughout. But there is a which one's the green one? This one is kind of this creamy, lightly, very, very slightly green tone with green and purple glitter. it's two hands just making a pinky promise. And something I really like is that the hands are also different sizes. Like there's one big hand and one small hand, which I don't know why, I just kind of like that. But it's also the same, really detailed, like you can see all the little fingers. And yeah, it's also very sturdy. Like these rings are very, very sturdy. They don't bend, and they don't, like sometimes you'll see with Shein rings that they leave kind of like a green, kind of mark around your finger. I think only a couple of these rings have done that. And they were only like these kind of cheaper, more pliable rings that came in kind of a pack. You can see it's kind of rubbed off a bit. Or like, I'll show you these later. I don't know why I'm showing you them now, but you can kind of see like these really cheap ones, and they'll just kind of rub off on you. But none of these other ones, I haven't had that problem. Alright, and then last in this, I don't know what to call this. Last one here, is this little, like, I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like, it reminds me of a plate, but I know that's not it. It has a little snake inside, and it goes with a snake ring. I'll show you later. That's in my kind of statement ring little area, but I still think it's pretty. I maybe have worn this once. It's definitely not my favorite. I don't know, it doesn't really seem appealing to me. Like, it just kind of looks like a little kind of string on a plate if you don't look at it from like super close. Like once you look at it pretty closely, like you can see the little snake head, but from far away it just kind of looks like a little string or like a noodle on a plate, and not really about that. So yeah, anyway, so those were kind of my more favorite fun design rings. I don't really know what to call them, but that was that. Alright, moving on, I'll show you here, let me move this. I'll show you kind of my simple bands and just very, very simple rings. This will go by very quick. So first off, I have a ton of these just simple gold bands. I got them in like a pack of like 30 or something. And I don't wear them all the time. Like I said, I usually only wear them when I'm like stacking things, since I much prefer to either wear some of my other bands or just my other like more fun designs. So I don't wear these all the time, but I still like them. I've gotten a fair amount of use out of them. Oops, dropped one and dropped another. Anyways, so I've grabbed in of these, like so many. Alright, then I have quite a few of these as well. These also came in a set, but they're slightly different. While all of those were one size that fits like on my kind of pointer and thumb, like and in that mid-size, I also have these rings, which instead of just being simple, just smooth bands, they're a bit more textured and a lot thinner, and they're also like rounder. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Instead of it being kind of like cut on the inside to where it's like more angular, I don't know how to explain it, but instead of that being like a rectangle, a thin rectangle that they then turn into a ring, this is just like a wire, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But it's more just like a wire kind of ring, and I usually like these because they fit like right up here, which when I'm wearing like a ton of rings, I think this helps add a little bit of like, I don't even know what to call it, but it kind of adds a little bit, like it breaks up the fingers, because sizes, including like ones for my thumb, pretty much everywhere. So I have those. And then next up, I have this little wire ring that I made. It's just a couple of pieces of wire wrapped together, and then it kind of has this little flare out piece in the front, and it just looks like that. It's very simple. I don't wear this all done anymore because I have rings that I prefer over it, but I still think it's nice when I'm going for a more kind of simple day with rings. Alright. Then I used to have a couple of these, but they're these little like star and just stud kind of rings that are open-ended, so you can also like adjust them. But this is one of the rings I was talking about that kind of like leaves a green kind of mark on your finger. So I don't tend to wear it a lot, but it's still really pretty. I also lost all the others, so this is the only remaining one. But yeah, it's very, very simple. Okay, then I have this. This is the ring that goes with this purpley pink ring, because as you can see in the light, if I can get a piece that kind of reflects, because yeah, kind of purple reflecting, it goes with this perfectly, and they're both silver. So this is like a silver ring with pieces of abalone shell. I got this from an indigenous shop up in the like Seattle, Tacoma area. I'm not exactly I don't remember what it's called, but it's an indigenous owned shop, and this lady owned it, and she made all the rings and all the stuff in the shop herself. So I really like this ring. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's so well made. So I really like it, and it's just very simple. So there's that. Okay, so then I could kind of put these next couple ones in that first category, but I think they fit here. So this is all a huge set. Let me put them on my fingers so you can kind of see. So it comes with these kind of like swirly pieces with little like tiny balls at the end. Like think like when you get a nose piercing, it's those little kind of balls at the end. Just get this kind of like wrap ring. And I came with two of those. And then two of these little crisscross rings. So it's like two separate bands. Just simple silver bands that have been kind of like crossed together. So now they're little cross rings. And I also think these are like super cool. And then finally in this little set are just these two very simple bands. There's a thick silver band and a thin silver band. And I want to get more of just these kind of style because I really like them. Because as you've seen, I have a lot of silver and gold, and I usually like to mix it. But I have a lot of like these kind of gold stacker rings, but I don't really have any silver other than these two. And they only really fit on kind of the lower parts of my pointer finger and my thumb, so I want to get smaller ones so I can do that same kind of like upper finger stacking thing. So yeah, I want to get more of those, I know that for sure. very beautiful. And one thing I really like is that they're actually like uneven, which was like intentional. So like some places it's a bit thinner on the outside and then thicker, and I feel like this makes them look a little bit more homemade. And like it's not even exactly the same on the other side. Like they're all like different, which I really like. Which, like I said, just gives them this kind of like homemade, like person-made kind of feeling. Alright, so there's very few in this category, so I'm gonna try and go slow. But this is the snake ring I was talking about earlier. And it's just this kind of slithery snake, and the entire band is like supposed to be part of the snake. And one thing I really like is it's all textured like all the way around, like it's has this kind of like scaly feeling to it. And that's the only thing really though, like it's not really detailed other than that, like there's not even really eyes that are super noticeable, like they're just little indents that you can't even really see. So I don't wear this all done. One, my mom hates snakes, so she gets mad at me when I wear this, but I still think it's a pretty ring. It's very like dark academia style. I see a lot of people on Pinterest who wear snake rings like this, and I aspire to have that aesthetic one day. Like it's just, oh, it's so cool. Anyways, this is my snake ring. Okay, and then I have this one that I made, which is made out of Labrador. I believe what it's called. I could be wrong though. One of my really good friends gave this crystal to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, that could be a really cool ring. So I wrapped some silver wire around it and kind of made this band. I want to remake it though, to make it more kind of sleek, in terms of the actual ring. And it just looks like that. It's kind of crooked, so but it's this beautiful ring, and it shines all these beautiful colors in the light. Yeah, like blue and kind of bronze and orange. It's beautiful. So I really like this one, but I very, very, very rarely wear it for the same reason as the little Palmer clay flowers. They just like, it's sometimes it gets in the way and stuff, and it kind of gets caught on things sometimes. But yeah, alrighty. Next up, this is, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really like this ring. It came totally different than it was pictured on the website. The website kind of pictured it to be this like very light, kind of sagey green, very muted. And then it came out this like bright neon green. I do really like the bee though. The bee is very cute. It's very detailed. And it has this gold wire all around, which I like it so much. But if it was just the right color, I would wear it so much more. It's very well made. Like the metal is like very thick and well cut, and it has these cool cutouts on the side. And yeah, the only thing I don't like is it's not like this is slightly like tilted, and then the bee is completely off center too. So the idea was really good, but the execution was not. Which sucks because the bee is like so cute, like it's so accurate, and I was like, oh, this could be so cute when I have this and like my other bee ring, and I could wear like all my animal rings with like my snake and my beetle and my frog, and but couldn't happen, I guess. So yeah, this one. I might try and see if like Etsy has something like this, because I really like this idea, but I'm not So